Welcome to Study Time, a televised home learning program produced by Rwanda Education Board.
Hello, students. How are you? I hope you're okay. You're welcome again to biology lesson, senior 6th class. So the unit, as usual, is unit number 7, which is excretion and osmoregulation. And then the lesson of today is the role of hypothalamus in the osmoregulation. Remember, this hypothalamus is one of the glands, one of the part of the brain that can involve in the homeostatic activity, including this osmoregulation. So this is the topic of today. We'll see how this hypothalamus can play that role to maintain. What's osmoregulation? We're going to see what is osmoregulation. So now, what is the objective of our lesson? So at the end of this lesson, you will be able to explain the role of hypothalamus in water and salt balance. So make sure at the end of this lesson, you will be able to do that. Now, be ready. Make sure you have your explanation book where you write some explanation, and then follow. You will have also to ask questions where you don't understand. So be ready. I hope you will have fun in this topic. Now, when we talk about osmoregulation, remember, do you remember what you have seen last time? Who can remind us? Oh, I see someone who can try. Yes, you can try. 1 second. Oh, nice. We have talked about the urine formation. What are the steps during this urine formation? What are the steps that involve in urine formation? Oh, yes, you can try. Oh, there are 3. Yes, number 1 is the urethral filtration. You are right. The second is selective reabsorption. And then the third one is secretion. Can you remind what is the urethral filtration? Yes? Oh, nice. It is the process by which smaller molecules that found in the blood, they pass across the glomerular, and then the big molecules, they are going to remain into the blood. And then those smaller molecules, when they pass across the glomerular, which is a part of the nephron, where this filtration of the blood takes place, those smaller molecules, they do form what you call glomerular filtrate, which also you can call it primary urine. Then you have what you call selective reabsorption. What do you understand about selective reabsorption? Who can try? 1 second. Yes, you can try, no problem. Oh, wonderful. You are good students. I like how you revise, how you remember what you have seen. That's a good behavior. I like that. So as you said, selective reabsorption is a process by which the useful substances that have been filtrated, that found in the glomerular filtrate, they are reabsorbed back into the blood. Because they are useful, they have to be reabsorbed so that they can go to serve. They can be transported to different parts of the body. That's the reabsorption. So it has to occur because most of the glomerular filtrates contain those useful substances like nutrients, water, hormones, vitamins, all those, they have to be back. Even if for all nutrients, they have to go back, but for water is 80%, iron is 50%, and then the other remaining one, they can continue so that we will get our urine. So the reabsorption takes place where? It takes place into proximal convoluted, you remember the parts of nephron, proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henry, distal convoluted tubule, and collecting bag. Then finally we have what we call secretion. This we have seen this. Yes, it is a kind of reminding what you have seen. And then you have secretion where in our filtrate there is some secretion of they act as waste. They have to be secreted, then they are released into the blood. Like secretion of these hydrogen ions, potassium ions, all those, they have to be secreted into the urine, then they are released outside. So now, we have this osmoregulation. What do you understand about osmoregulation? What is osmoregulation? What do you understand about osmoregulation? What is osmoregulation? As you can see on the screen, osmoregulation is the process by which osmotic pressure of the blood and the tissue fluid is kept constant. That is osmoregulation. Actually, it's the process by which water and salts in the blood is kept constant. When this ions and water is kept constant in our body, this also can maintain what you call the blood pressure. Because sometimes when those ions, they are very high in the blood, they can even increase what? Increase the blood pressure. So that's why they have to be balanced. They have to be balanced in our body. If they are excess, they have to be, if water is excess, for example, it has to be eliminated from the body. Because we need the balanced water. We need balanced salt in our body. Are you getting this? That process of maintaining this osmotic pressure, it's about the salts and water. To keep this constant is what you call osmoregulation. So which means the amount of water and salt we take in the everyday has to be equal to the amount of water which is lost. The amount gained must be equal to the amount of what? Of gained. So that is, this make our health to be good, to balance water and what? And the mineral salts. Okay, can you see on this screen? So, for example, we gain this water from the diet. For example, we get like 2,300 centimeter cube per day. This we get from diet, from what we drink, from what we eat, we get this water. And then from the metabolism that takes place in our body, we can get like 200 centimeter cube per day. Metabolism, like cellular respiration. Remember, when there is cellular respiration, there is also production of water. When there is this metabolism of lipids, of fat, we get this what? This water. So together, the total of the amount of water that we can gain each day is equal to 2,500. So, and this amount also has to be, because it is in our body, we gain it, it has to be also to be roast. Are you together? So how is it going to roast? Either it's going to be roast in the urine. How much amount of water can be roast in the urine? It is 1,500. Among what? Among 2,500. Then other 400 centimeter cube is excreted in what you call expired air. When you breathe out, also there is some water vapors which gets outside. That can equal to 400. Another, water also can be lost through evaporation from the skin. Have you seen when it is cold, you see some water vapors come out through the skin? Also, that water vapors contain water, which is 300 50. And then in the faces also, there is some water which is going to be lost, which is equal to 150 centimeter cube per day. Then during sweating, when you sweat, also there is an amount of water which is equal to 100, that's going to be lost. Then the total is 2,500 centimeter cube water, which is going to be lost per day, which means the water gained has to be equal to the water that will be lost to balance. Even for the salts, it's the same. It's the same. For example, how can we get the salts, the mineral salts? We can get those mineral salts from the diet, where we can get like 10.5 gram each day, per day. And then the total is actually 10.5 gram each day. And then how this, because we gain it, we still also have another in our body. When we gain it, we have to use it, and then they are going to be roasted, so that there is balance. If there is no balance, you know what's going to happen? If you get more energy than the one you roast, what's going to happen? Those, they are going to be stored. If they are stored, this can cause you to be obesity. So now, from this 10.5, we have this 10, which is going to be roast in urine. First is 0.225. In sweet also, there is salt that's going to roast is 0.25. Then the total 10.5. You see, this balance is needed in our body to have good health. Are you okay? Are you getting something? Nice. So, yeah, actually, blood needs the constant level of what? Of water and salts. To avoid what? To avoid this osmotic disruption to the cells. Because when there is a problem of high amount of water, which is not balanced, our cells are not going to work well, even when the salts are too much. So we need a balance. We need a balance. So that balance is what we call osmotic pressure. So we need this homeostatic control of water and solute, which involve what? Hormones. We're going to see what is that hormone. That hormone is what you call ADH. Now, we are going to see how water is controlled in our body. We have no more water potential in our body, in the blood, if you want. This is the normal one. Now, when there is, suppose you don't consume water, you don't drink water, you don't get water, what's going to happen for this water potential in our body? This water potential is going to decrease. There is decrease of water potential. When the water potential is decreasing in the blood, this is going to be detected by what you call osmoreceptors. In what? That found in the hypothalamus, which is the part of the brain. Actually, the brain is going to know that there is a problem of water that have been reduced. So this hypothalamus contains what you call osmoreceptors that will detect that there is a problem of what? Of water in the body. And then hypothalamus tell what? Tell what you call pituitary gland, pituitary gland, to do what? To secrete the hormone called ADH, more ADH. ADH in full is ADH, and say ADH in full is antidiuretic hormone. This is the ADH. Its production comes from hypothalamus, but it's going to be released by this pituitary gland. Are you together? Then this ADH, you know what it's going to do? This increase the reabsorption of what? Of water. Because they will have problem of water, this is going to increase what? Increase the reabsorption of water in the what? At the distal convoluted tubule and correcting duct. You see? Now, when there is increase of reabsorption of water on this side, you know what's going to happen? Now, because water have been reabsorbed back to the what? To the blood. Now, water potential increases. When water increases, now the water potential now becomes normal. You see? You see the role of hypothalamus is the one that contains osmoreceptors that can detect there is a problem of what? Of this water change. Water is reduced. Now, this ADH, which is hormone, is going now to go to the epithelial membrane of what? Of distal convoluted tubule and what? And correcting that to cause it to be more permeable. Are you getting how water is going to be maintained when there is a decrease? Now, what's happened when there is now increase? When there is more water, when you drink a lot of water, then you have a lot of water in our body. What's going to happen? Let's use the same diagram. So suppose there is now rise of increase of water potential. So this is going to also to be detected by what you call osmoreceptors in the hypothalamus. The same. These osmoreceptors will know that there is a high amount of water into the blood. And then this tell what you call pituitary gland to secrete less what? Less ADH. You see? Now it is less ADH. When there is production of this less ADH, now less water is going to be reabsorbed. This distal convoluted tubule, convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule, and the correcting duct are impermeable, becomes impermeable to water, which means water will not pass. If water will not pass, it's going now to be excreted in the what? In the urine. Then we get what? We get the diluted urine. Here it is concentrated urine. So now this is how water can be balanced. Are you getting this point? Now, ADH, you see how it affects the permeability of what? Of the distal convoluted tubule, as I have explained on diagram. Then what can cause this rise of osmotic pressure? It can cause the water to be reduced and increase this salt. What can cause this is if you don't consume water, your osmotic pressure is going to increase. The salt is going to increase. Then amount of water is decreasing. So if you have this much sweating, also can cause the osmotic pressure to increase. And then water is going to be reduced. If there is a large amount of salt, actually, if you take a large amount of salt, this also can raise what? Osmotic pressure. Now, so this is, we have seen how this hypothalamus can do. maintain this water. So the role of this ADH is also called vasopressin. This ADH has the effect on what? On the permeable, on this distal convergent to be and correcting to be permeable or not permeable. If ADH is more, those ones, they're going to be more permeable, which means more water is going to be reabsorbed. Are you together? Nice. So if you understand this, we can go for the actual. This is what you have seen. What can cause the osmotic pressure to be foreign? If the osmotic pressure is foreign, so there is now increase of water potential. What can cause this? So if you take large amount of water, if you drink large amount of water, this water potential is going to increase. If there is little sweating, if you are not sweating, there is little sweating, this also can increase the water potential. Now, if you don't take much salt, also can cause what? Can cause the osmotic pressure to be decreased. Are you okay? Are you understanding this? Nice. Yeah, this you have also. When there is when water potential increases, ADH is going to be inhibited, or there is secretion of what? Of less ADH. If there is secretion of less ADH, this distal convergence should be, and correcting that, they are going to be impermeable or less permeable, which means many water is going to be released in the urine. Then you get diureted urine. Are you together? Nice. Yeah, this is, Now, you have to know that there is what you call diabetes impedance. This is the diabetes impedance. This is a condition where the posterior lobe of pituitary gland is not able to produce sufficient level of ADH. If ADH is not produced, so there is now large amount of what? Of diluted urine. So if there is, because there is no reabsorption of what? Of water into the blood, so there is production of large amount of what? Of diluted urine. So this is a kind of disease, which is called diabetes impedance. So now, this is the diagram we have already described here. Nice. Now, how salt is going to be regulated? So we are going to use another diagram, salt. Suppose you have normal salt. Let's use this sodium chloride. Normal. This is normal. Are you getting this? When there is problem of decrease of NaCl, this one is going also to be detected by what you call osmoreceptors in hypothalamus. They are going to know that there is a decrease of this. And this is going now to tell what you call juxtaglomerular apparatus in the kidney to secrete the hormone called renin. The role of this renin is going to activate what you call angiotensinogen. This comes from liver, and then it is inactive. This one is going to be activated. Is going to be activated by what? By this renin, and then to become angiotensin. Now this is active. This angiotensin is going now to activate. It's going to stimulate this adrenal gland. to produce hormone called aldosterone. This aldosterone, you know what to do? This aldosterone increase the reabsorption now, say when into the blood. Are you okay? And then when this one increases, now the problem of this is now collected. Are you okay? Nice. This is how this NAS cell or sodium chloride can be controlled. You see, hypothalamus is involved. And then these hormones. Are you getting something? Are you okay? Nice. I hope you have seen how this hypothalamus is very useful in the control of what? Of this osmotic pressure. So this you have already talked about this. Yeah, actually, you have to know that always water and the mineral salts, they have to be balanced. So the gland that's involved is what you call hypothalamus. You have seen how hypothalamus can contribute to that. So we see, as you have seen, we have different animals that can adapt for what? For this osmoregulation. Where the desert animals, they have long rope of Henry to increase the absorption. Also, they have large number of nephron. This one also can increase the absorption so that they cannot don't lose much water. They excrete urine, which is highly concentrated. It's a kind of conserving water in their body. So, as I have said, they have also tissue that is treated to extreme dehydration. So now, homework of today. You will describe the mechanism that regulates the release of ADH. Then, where the test center is located, what is ADH in full, where is it produced, where is it stored. Then explain the mechanism of what? Regulation of this water potential. So be ready, continue making the research. We shall meet by next time. Bye.